Today's story, it's called The Boy Prophet. When the nation of Israel settled in Canaan, the tent of meeting was set up permanently at the city of Shiloh. Each year, many of the faithful went there to worship God and offer sacrifices and thank offering. Elkanah, a man from a town of Ramah, traveled to Shiloh to worship. Elkanah, a man from Ramah, was married, and he had a wife named Hannah. Hannah could not have any kids, and so every 1 year, when the family visited Shiloh, Hannah cried and was depressed. She had not eaten anything all day. In the evening, Elkanah talked to her. He didn't mind her not having children, but she still longed for a son. The next morning, she went to the temple to pray. She made a vow to God that if she had a son, she would give him to the Lord for all the days of his life. Eli, the high priest at the tent of the meeting, saw Hannah standing near the entrance with her eyes closed. Her lips were moving, but no sound came out of her mouth. At first, Eli thought she was drunk, but Hannah said to him, "No, my lord, I am a woman of sorrowful spirit. Out of the abundance of my complaints and grief I have spoken until now." Eli comforted her, saying, "Go in peace, and the God of Israel grant your petition with which you have asked him." She returned to Elkanah's tent and ate with him, and her face no longer looked sad. Sometime after the family returned to their home in Ramah, Hannah became pregnant and had a baby son. She named him Samuel, which means "as of God." The years slipped by. When Samuel was old enough to leave home, Hannah kept her vow to God. She took the boy to the house of the Lord at Shiloh and presented him to Eli. "Oh, my Lord," she said to the high priest, "I am the woman who stood by you here, praying to the Lord for this child I prayed, and the Lord has granted me a petition which I have asked. Therefore, I also have lent him to the Lord. As long as he lives, he shall be lent to the Lord." Elkanah's family worshiped God at the tent of the meeting as they usually did. Hannah prayed a beautiful prayer of thanks. Little Samuel must have been homesick when his mother left him. Eli was an old man, and with all of the work to do in God's house, there was a little playtime for the boy, who lived with the high priest. But Samuel did his work faithfully. He opened the doors of the house of the God in the morning and closed them at evening. He kept the lamps trimmed, and he probably cleaned the floors and dusted the furniture in the high priest's living quarters. Samuel wore a linen robe like one of the priests wore in their service. Each year when Hannah came to worship at the tent of meeting, she brought her son a new coat she made with her own hands. 3 more sons and 2 daughters were born to Hannah, so she was not lonely in her home anymore. Samuel slept in the tent of meetings near where the lamps burned in front of the golden ark. One night he arose from a sound sleep by a voice calling his name. "Here I am," he replied. He ran to Eli and said, "Here I am, for you called me." "I did not call you," Eli declared. "Lie down again." Samuel went back to lay down on his sleeping mat. Again, a voice called him out, Samuel! Once more the boy arose and went to Eli's bed. Here I am, for you have called me. Samuel responded, I did not call you, my son, replied the priest. Lie down again. When the voice called the third time, the boy got up quickly and went to Eli and said, Here I am, for you did call me. When Eli realized that it was the Lord calling the young boy, he said to Samuel, Go lie down, and it shall be, if he calls you, you must say, Speak, Lord, for your servant hears. Until this time, Samuel did not know God and had never received a message from him. The boy walked back to his bed and lay down. The Lord called again, Samuel, Samuel. Samuel said, Speak, Lord, for your servant hears. Then the Lord spoke these words to Samuel, Behold, I will do something in Israel at which both ears of everyone who hears will tingle. In that day I will perform against Eli all that I have spoken concerning his house from the beginning to the end. For I have told him that I will judge his house forever for iniquity which he knows, because his sons made themselves vile, and he did not restrain them. And therefore I have sworn to the house of Eli that the inquiry of Eli's house shall not be atoned for by sacrifice or offering forever. In the morning, when Samuel opened the double doors of the house of the Lord, Eli called the boy to him and said, Samuel, my son. Here I am, he answered. What is the word that the Lord spoke to you? He asked. Please do not hide it from me. Then Samuel told the high priest everything that the Lord had told him. It is the Lord, Eli said. Let him do what he seems good to him. Samuel had just received his first prophecy. As he grew up, he stayed true to God and obeyed all the commandments. Everyone in the nation came to realize that Samuel had been established as a prophet of Israel. So, what we learn about this story is that whenever you can't sleep, or if you had a bad dream or something woke you up, remember, it might be that God is trying to speak to you and spend some time with you. So it would be nice if you stay up and you pray and you talk to God, because God is the same always. He has always been the same, and He listens to everyone. Have a happy Sabbath.